Howdy everyone, and welcome back to the Luna Geeks Out channel. Today we are checking out Who I Am by MIRI. That is one of the members of Wagamama Rakia, who are one of my favorite Japanese groups, so very excited to be getting to this one. I'm looking forward to this one since it released. Admittedly, I talked about this a little in the last one. I'm not in the last video. I'm not as familiar with her stuff in the group as I am with Manami, just because I've focused a lot on her solo stuff and everything. But I have really enjoyed what I've heard from her in the group, so this should be fantastic. I don't really know what to expect from this. I don't know if we're going to have some metal in here. Unless I am highly mistaken, she's one of the rappers in the group, so I imagine we'll be getting a lot of that, which is going to be pretty nice. That's the style I don't listen to much of. But this one should be really cool, so without further ado, let's hop into it. So, electronic start to this reminds me a bit of something. Very similar electronic sound to something I've heard. Alright. Definitely not what I was expecting. I was honestly expecting something a little, not harsh, something a bit more energetic, a bit more aggressive in a sense. This is a bit more chill than I was expecting, but quite like it. Really good vocal distortion there. That's something that doesn't always work for me, but I think it's great sound there. Super good synth there. Sounded like there's some slight vocal layering, which is nice. Good little bass in the background there, some kind of the electronic bass. Okay, that was nice right there. That's reminding me of... there's some song that's making me think of... This is what I was expecting from this. This is nice. Sudden shift. Actually, really good shift. Worked out really well. And back to the chill stuff. I think the chorus is really a little weak. It's not quite what I think it could be, but solid. Really liking that bass synth there. That's really nice. Okay. I was like, something's about to happen, and something happened. Oh, is that it? Actually, really cool into that. It was more subtle than I was expecting. I think that was actually something that would have been benefited from like a good fade out kind of thing, you know. But that was pretty good, I'd say. Not what I was expecting from it. To be fair, I didn't really know what to expect. But yeah, I liked that. Now, normally I would go and hop into the lyrical analysis, but unfortunately there is not a translation of this that I've been able to find. So, I've been able to look at it through Google Translate, of course, but if you saw the last video, you heard my thoughts on doing that. So let's hop ahead into the music review, which, this was pretty dang good, rap, hip hop, all that kind of stuff. Definitely a style of music, a genre, what have you, that I don't listen to much of. Like, I like when it shows up and stuff, and the K-pop songs I listen to, for example, the occasional modal song, of course, there's a lot of it. In Wagamama Rockia's stuff, I quite like it there, but it's a genre that really just hasn't quite clicked with me, so I really don't listen to much of it. So unfortunately, I can't really speak like, oh yeah, so they were doing a really good job with their rap because, of this or whatever. My commentary there is just, I thought it was nice. Unfortunately, that's something I really am not qualified to dive into. I mean, I'm an amateur when it comes to all of this. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but that is something where I'm going to basically force myself to not make a fool of myself by trying to talk about technique or anything like that, because I don't have even the base amount of knowledge on that. But, to hop into starting off with vocals, I thought was great. Like I said, the rap I thought was quite nice. Good energy. It was nice to have, the difference between the more chill sound, the calmer sound, and then that more aggressive, energetic sound as well. I thought, the latter was what I was expecting a bit more of, just because of what I've heard from Wagamama Rockia. So that was more what I was expecting, and just, personal musical tastes, what I enjoyed a little more, just because, I like the stuff that has a bit more energy most of the time. But both sort of styles were quite nice, Again, I can't really talk about technique or anything. I don't know, for ranking skill or whatever. I don't know where she would fall on that, but I thought it was quite nice. And then the singing as well was pretty good. Not the best I've heard, right? But I thought it was solid. There was some, slight auto-tune, some slight vocal distortion, which, a lot of folks really don't like. Me, I like it when it's, doing something interesting, right? Take, for example, Fem, a group I really enjoy. I've checked out a couple times on this channel. I really enjoy their stuff. They have this whole sort of lore thing where they're like mannequins. Don't ask me to explain it beyond that. I am not qualified to do that, even though I've been a fan for a while now. But, they pretty heavily use, like, distortion on their voices. Not to an insane amount, but, like, it's very clear that they're going for a bit more of almost a robotic sound. That works really well for what they do with their music, right? It's not only creating just an interesting sound, but it sort of almost thematically connects to the music. This, not as much of, I suppose, a thematic connection, but it is making a really cool sound. I think it really works well with the heavy electronic focus here and everything. So, vocal distortion, that kind of stuff, is not something I always like. I tend to prefer. I'm not going to say natural voices, because autotune is a thing used throughout the industry, right? Stuff is edited to get, the best possible sound. But that more natural sound is what I tend to prefer. But in here, I thought that more distorted, that more, in a sense, altered voice was quite nice. It worked really well here. Then, of course, we had just the various electronic stuff. The main synths I thought were fantastic. There was one towards the beginning, I think it showed up later on, that, again, reminded me of something, and I can't quite place it, but it was very nice. We had, that bass, that electronic bass that I was talking about. Really good sound there. I love that sort of deep, just sort of vibrating bass, just great. And then the other, the beat in this, the drums, the percussion was, nothing too crazy. I thought they could have done a bit more in this track. But it was solid. It was a good backing to everything, helped, you move along a little easier, if that makes any sense. Just some good energy with that, even if it could have been a little more. I'm trying to think of what else there was. Just the general shifts from the calmer stuff to the more aggressive stuff actually worked out really well. That is something that just shifting around can be very jarring. I thought they pulled that off really well here. It didn't feel like it was like, oh, we're doing this now. A lot of the stuff, well, I say a lot of the stuff that first time it happened, it wasn't like a lead-in into it, at least not that I noticed, but I thought the way it switched was executed really well. So that was, I thought, something that to tie back into the last reaction as well, I was talking about how the someone commented the name of the instrument, and I've forgotten it, but that, and then the male vocals in there, they could have really hurt the song, but they pulled it off really well. That's a similar thing to this. That sudden transition could have hurt the song, but it was pulled off really well. So all in all, this is definitely not, a sound I tend to go for. Rap, like I said, I don't listen to much of it. I haven't really found, I guess, a good gateway into the genre, into the style. But this was fantastic. Some familiar stuff that I've come to expect from Wagamama Rakia, especially in the more aggressive moments. But a new bit of sound as well. I believe MIRI did a lot of solo stuff in the past. So I'm going to have to go and check that stuff out. So, hey, if there's anything she's done that y'all want me to react to, let me know. I'll add it to the list. But, yeah, this was quite nice, Very glad to have checked this one out and had the opportunity to talk about it. There we go. Now, normally, we're having to cut out another thing. Normally, I would, at this point, switch to choosing the next reaction. But Baby Metal on Friday, which should be when I film my next reaction, are releasing their new track. I think I have that right. And then we have, this is just a hunch. I haven't seen anyone else say this. All I know is that Sleep Token apparently just did a live debut of their song Granite. I've got a hunch that's going to release pretty soon as well. So I might end up having to push the next reaction back a day, depending on when things release and depending on my schedule. But the next reaction will almost certainly be Metal Kingdom by Baby Metal. Chance it will be the Sleep Token track if that releases sooner. I guess we did choose the next reaction, just in a different way, so this might still be called the same thing in the chapters, but yeah, that's what we'll be doing next time. One of those two things, probably Baby Metal, Sleep Token, if my hunch is correct and it releases, and it does so before the Baby Metal track. But that is going to do it, so thank y'all for watching. Be sure to like if you liked, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment down below with your own thoughts on the track, any feedback or criticism, or anything you want me to react to. In the description, link to the music video so you can go check it out. Support the artist, link to my playlists of Japanese music, and my playlist of Wagamama Rakia and Wagamama Rakia associated stuff. So you can check out some more similar content from me. I don't have a, rap playlist, because I really have not reacted to much at all. I might make one in the future if I react to more, but as of right now, that's not a thing. But links to those two playlists in the description, so you can check those out, more similar content. Link to my Discord server, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify playlist of all the songs I've reacted to, at least the ones up on Spotify, and my Linktree, which has all my other stuff in it, in case any of that interests y'all. Anyways, like I said, it's going to do it. So once again, thank y'all for watching, and until next time, I'll be seeing ya.